name is Sarah Boyette, and you're watching KLST Local News First.
From your local election headquarters, KLST presents the 2025 Bond Election Special.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Carolyn McAndrew, and welcome to our KLST City Election Day Bond Forum. For the next half hour, we'll be talking about both of the bonds on the May 3rd ballot for San Angelo voters, the San Angelo School District bond for $397 million, and the Coliseum renovation bond for $41 million. But we'll start with the school district bond. We have two administrators and the school board president with us tonight. Dr. Taylor Kingman, nice to have you, school board president. Dr. Chris Moran, San Angelo School District superintendent. And Dr. Merrill Brandon, the guy in charge of financials, assistant superintendent for business services. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. It's nice. We have a lot of information to talk about. We're going to go over the next few minutes. Let's talk about just some of the details of Proposition A. It is for the language that voters will see. It's for the issuance of $397 million in bonds for school expansion, renovation, safety, and security. Majority would be used to update buildings, including Central High School and Lakeview High School, a new Glenn Middle School, and also a lot of security measures. Let's just talk now about some of the details about what all that money will be used for.
Well, I'll start out by just saying that this bond proposition that's been called by the board is given to the community. It includes a number of packages. You mentioned high schools, Glenn Middle School, but really let's start with safety and security. There's a lot of needs across the district that relate to safety and security with regard to fencing. The state gave us some laws a few years ago that dictate the kind of fencing that has to be used, the kind of security and safety measures we have to use. And so this bond would address those types of things, including cameras, keyless entries, and we could go into great detail with Central High School alone. But it's
cafeteria and auditorium.
Right, but it's all of the campuses in our district being addressed by safety and security.
We're going to talk about the process and the facility committee a little later, but tell us, Dr. Kingman, kind of give us an idea. I believe 50 years is the average age of facilities in the San Angelo School District.
So we actually did a study to look at the composite age of every building in the district, and we don't have a single building that has an age of less than 38 years as far as a composite age, because we haven't passed 6 out of the last 7 bonds to deal with school education, school buildings, and infrastructure. So when we're looking at what we have in front of us, we have a price tag that unfortunately is going to require some sacrifice. $397 million is not a small ask for our community, and our board understands that. We know, but we had 60 members of our community go forward and tour our facilities and try and come up with a number that actually changed the direction and helped create an infrastructure that would actually sustain for another 70 years. I mean,
which is a very long-term project.
Which is a long-term project.
Sometimes it's hard for people to understand why we need to do things long-term. I think it's also interesting, for instance, at Lakeview, you want to update technical training, technical education. We've moved into a new era with education. A lot of students don't even have books anymore. It's all iPad and it's all computer learning, and that's part of the advancement.
Yeah, I know in San Angelo ISD, career and technical education is at the top of the list for our students, and some students are going to go to college, but not every student will. And so we have to be able to offer those classes that will make them job ready, future ready. And that's part of the bond, is making that available to all of our students.
We talk about, you say the younger school, 38 years old. For people to get a concept of that, that's 40 years. I mean, that's several generations of students who've gone through classes like that. Even example like the air conditioning and heating in most of the facility campuses.
Right, and the $40 million that are earmarked for deferred maintenance includes roofs, HVACs, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, but the realistic fact is that that's just that $40 million really isn't the whole needs list for those projects. Those are the most critical in our district. And so in this bond, we've really tried to address the most critical needs. there are so many more. And the committee actually struck out a number of projects and options and needs that the district had and decided not to present those to the board. So this 397 really represents the greatest needs in the district right now.
Okay, let's move on to the next one, and this is the one that all taxpayers think about. The details on the increased cost for property tax owners to pay for the bond along with the interest of a $397 million proposal. About $275 annually for a home valued at about $200,000. Is that about right? Give us kind of what you all say about that for property owners who are concerned.
So I will say quickly that the board, with the help of the state legislature, the school board's been able to lower the tax rate, both INS and M&O, every year I've been on the board over the last 8 years. And so we have a track record. So this is going to be an increase initially, but as values go up, we will continue to lower the tax rate just like we have historically. The board has a good track record of doing that and trying to keep the tax burden at the lowest possible for the community.
Okay, all right, let's move on to the next one. Tell us about the Facility Advisory Committee, Dr. Kingman, that you kind of alluded to, and their work over about 5 months or so evaluating the district's long-term facility needs.
So 60 different members for the committee across San Angelo spent months, right, going to facilities, loading up on yellow buses and visiting campuses, and then coming together each night to have conversations. I think they ended up volunteering over 800 hours before they came together as a group to present the final package of projects to the Board of Trustees.
Dr. Moran, how did they get to that final point? You say they struck out a lot of things in their wish list.
Yeah, well, first of all, it's a consensus process. And so you start with, let's gather the facts, whether it be demographic reports, facility reports, financial advisors reporting, touring those facilities. And then as a group, we had about 8 different tables, and they processed it and came up with their selections. And through the process, each group put forward their preferences, and then the group voted on those as a whole. And so very democratic, but a really clean process that yielded a great result.
And a wide array. For instance, give us some kind of the background on those dozens of members on that committee.
So we had former teachers, we had people who graduated from Central the first year Central was open. We had grandparents, we had parents, we had community members, community leaders, we had people who are running for school board who've never been on the school board before. We have a lot of individuals from all across San Angelo that were on there. I think between board members and community leaders who expressed interest, I think we've pretty much got a huge section. We got
that is a wide cross section, generationally.
Yeah, it is.
We worked really hard to make sure that it was representative of the district, and to make sure that everyone had an opportunity to have a voice in the process. And we feel like it was a fair process. We felt like it gave the board something that they could lean back on, that wasn't just us presenting to the board, but it was really a community's
All right, let's talk about the other side of this. If that bond, $397 million bond proposal on Saturday is not approved, give us an idea of what taxpayers are dealing with increased costs over the coming years.
Yeah, and that's been one of the big questions as we've gone across the community. We've had the question asked, what if, right? But what a lot of people don't understand is the state does not send money to school districts to build schools.
Capital improvements.
Right, capital improvements. It's just to pay for the daily operations. And 85% of the budget is salaries. So you're really trying to fix everything in the district with the remainder and meet all the student needs at the same time. So it really takes the community coming together in the bond process to provide new facilities.
Okay, as we wrap up this first part of our forum tonight, I'd like to have your thoughts just about overall, current, and long range, which you've talked about a little bit, benefits of a $397 million bond proposal. The number, that $39 million that we see on some of the materials, what is that number that you all have?
Well, I think you're referring to the deferred maintenance that could be addressed in the bond. There's about $8 million for safety and security, and about $39 to $40 million that is safety and security. The rest of it are elementary, middle school, high school upgrades.
Okay, all right, let's just talk about long-range benefits.
So long range, when we are able to make upgrades to the facilities we have, we're going to be able to, right now we spend $1 million trying to fix HVACs every year. If we can do that through this bond, that frees up money to be put into the classrooms with kids. Our goal as a board is to have increased academic rigor for our children. We need to do better in everything they're doing. We need to have better CTE. We're going to do all of those things, but we also have to have facilities that allow for those things to happen.
I could remember,
and
no air conditioning is not an option.
And the needs aren't going to go away. And so the other thing, that $39 million, is the deferred not doing this. Every year we don't do this, it just becomes more expensive because the costs of building don't get cheaper. By doing it now, I mean, we look even at a bond that we tried to pass 7 years ago, it was to do a lot of the things we're asking to do now, but for almost half the price.
That's a good point.
I think I would say one of the best questions that I think came up during one of our town hall type meetings was, why is the bond package so high now? And the thought was, if you fail 6 out of the last 7 bonds, it adds up over time, right? Those are the needs, and if we continue to wait, that price tag's just going to continue to get higher.
Okay, Dr. Moran?
Well, and I think, you know, the realistic position of the district is we want academics to be a priority, and we're working that direction. We also know that our facilities impact our academics and learning for students. We want our kids to have every opportunity they can have. We want them to graduate and be able to compete for jobs with kids from other districts, and we want to be at the top of our game. And so it's a community decision. Do we want to move that direction or not? It's really not about me. It's not about the board. It's about this community. And so that's why there's a vote on Saturday. So we're looking forward to the opportunity, if this bond passes, to move this district in the right direction.
All right, thank you all so much. School Board President Dr. Taylor Kingman, Superintendent Dr. Chris Moran, and Assistant Superintendent Dr. Mo Brennan. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk with members of the San Angelo Stock Show and Rodeo Board of Directors and the Executive Director about the Coliseum renovation bond. That's coming up in just a couple of minutes.
Wake up to the best way to start your day.
Good morning, Concho Valley. I'm Monique Joseph.
And I'm Jay Gilson. We've got everything you need to get your day started right.
From breaking news to your morning forecast,
we've got it all covered so you don't miss a thing.
The best way to start your day is with us.
Join us every weekday on Concho Valley This Morning.
The best way to start your day. Concho Valley This Morning.
KLST, we're much more than a local TV station. We're everywhere you need us to be. From your phone with the Concho Valley Homepage app, to streaming live online, on air, or even through the top streaming services. We're there whenever you need us most. We're more than just local. We're everywhere you are. KLST. Anytime, anywhere.
It's your chance to win big this summer with Winning with the Weather. Watch my forecast weeknights right here on KLST. Then enter for your chance to win big. Everything from flat screens, gift cards, and even an inflatable backyard water park.
Sponsored by Service Master by Texas Best, Concho Valley ER, CC Roofing, and Southwest Pools and Spas.
Head to ConchoValleyHomepage.com to enter and watch KLST on Fridays to see if you won.
At the San Angelo Area Foundation, we're trying to empower charities to collaborate and reach their donors, making one day on the first Tuesday in May a very special giving day.
Through San Angelo Gives, you can give your money to whatever organization in town that you want to help. And when you give, your money is multiplied, so it's like you're giving even more money.
San Angelo Gives. Support your favorite charities. Tuesday, May 6th.
KLST City Election Day Bond Forum. We're going to switch gears now and talk about the $41 million Coliseum bond. And we have 3 members of the Board of Directors for the San Angelo Stock Show and Rodeo Association, along with Justin Jonas, Executive Director. Jimmy Barton, you are the next president in line.
I am Vice President, yes,
You
ma'am.
are Vice President now. We have Corey Owens, who is Treasurer, and then Casey Barrett, who is Secretary. So kind of the next 3 presidents,
That's
so to
right.
speak, coming
Next
up in
6
line.
years. Yes, ma'am.
So I know, and you all have have 10 or more years of experience with the Stock Show and Rodeo Association. Let's start with the funding, start with the money. You already have an